I just came into the classroom. Let's take a look and see how the fish are doing today. The first aquarium is from the daycare. They look all right. Oh, they're a little squirrely. They're not used to seeing people yet. Well, let's go over and check our aquarium. Oh my gosh. Look at them. Oh, they're ready to go. And Mr. Swicker, please take us out. Take us out. So let's get started. So I have a question, boys and girls. How am I going to get these fish into the back of my car down to Colquitt's Creek? Some of you might say, put them in a bucket. Well, I've got a bucket right here. How am I going to get them from the tank into the bucket? Take a second and talk it over with your mom and dad. So right now what I'm doing is siphoning water out of the tank. The water goes up the tube, up the hose, and down into the bucket. I'm sure you can see the water coming out of the hose now. So now that we have the aquarium over next to the sink, I will again siphon the water from the sink, from the aquarium into the sink, and at the same time I will start yanking out or pulling out those rocks and setting those aside for next year. Then I'm going to be taking my dip net and I'm going to be scooping out the fish and putting them right here into this bucket. The water in the aquarium is about 6 degrees. It's colder than it is when it comes out of your tap. So while it's being siphoned out into the sink, I'll wait until the water gets a little bit lower before I start putting my hands in to take out the rocks at the bottom of the aquarium. But in the meantime, I'll try and scoop out a couple of fish and put them into the bucket. You'll notice that the pump is not in there anymore, so there's no current. So the fish are just sitting there wondering what's going on. And there are a couple of rocks that I pulled up that actually had some of the fry hiding underneath the rocks between the cobble and the gravel. Can anyone tell me why you think I had to put the books underneath one part of the aquarium? So boys and girls, you might notice that as the water starts getting down, the fish are digging right down into the very corner, or they're even trying to go underneath the rocks. Why do you suppose that is? Why aren't they up at the top, or most of them up at the top? And why are they trying to get underneath the rocks? Why do you think? So now I'll start dipping my hand in and I'll start pulling out some of the rocks from the shallow end into the deep end. Now that all of the cobble is taken out, I can see how many more fish there are in here. Holy smokes, there's quite a few. So these are the daycare fish. That's all of them. They're swimming around and we're very healthy. And they're going to be ready and raring to go. And now that all the fish are out, I had to tip up the edge of the aquarium so that the water would drain out into the sink. And what I'll do is I will clean out the aquarium so that it's good and clean for next year. I'm going to look after taking these fish back outside because the water is slowly starting to warm up. It was 6 degrees when it started, and it's already up to 8 degrees. So the water's getting warmer, which means they're going to grow a little bit faster. So I really have to get them into the streams. So we're down at the release site now, boys and girls. Here is our 3Z's bucket, and here is the daycare bucket. They're just getting acclimatized to the water. And this is the stream, or Colquitt's River, as it goes by. As you can see, there's a bit of an island right there in front of us. And it's going up. You'll notice that there's a little bit of riffles where the water runs over rocks or branches or whatever. That's what that's what introduces oxygen to the water. Okay, boys and girls, so we're down at Colquitt's Creek now. In order to, before we can put the fish into the creek, we have to make sure that the temperature in the aquarium is the same temperature as the creek. So what we've done is we've set the bucket right into the water, and after about 5 minutes or so, then I'll start introducing some stream water into the bucket, so to get the fish used to the water, and then I'll start taking them out. Okay, so we'll see how it goes from there. We'll see whether or not this can come out as these little guys go to the new homes. So if you look very carefully at the bottom of the top of the screen, you see a couple of fish. See them right in there? You can just see them in the shadow before the reflection. Okay?